I actually started the day in South Africa. In the United States Congress, we have some duties and responsibilities on the international front. We have so many men and women who literally serve around the globe. And so I was doing some things with embassy security. I was in Zimbabwe. I was in a little place called Maputo, Mozambique. And then I was also in South Africa. And we were at dinner not too long ago, just a couple days ago, and everybody started talking about what was happening in Utah and what was happening in Spanish Fork. And literally a global story in its inspiration and how noteworthy it was. We talked about it with the embassy staff. We talked about it with Congressman Steve Russell's the one that brought it to my attention, Congressman from Oklahoma, Congressman Lynch from Massachusetts. And then as we traveled around for that last little bit before we got on the long flight this morning, or whenever that was, people were talking about it. And it's truly unbelievable. You know, I struggle for words to wrap around this. I don't know that you can do that. You know, your heart and your prayers and your thoughts and your heart drops for a mother who loses her life. It's just so sad. And then to see the inspiration, the miracle that is this little child who survives, and there's no explanation for it. I mean, based on what I've heard, it's just absolutely unbelievable. But it's also inspiring, I think, for a community. It's what I love about Utah. It's what I love about the United States of America. It's what I love about Spanish Fork. You know, when times are at their toughest, we're at our best. And there's certain kinds of people in this world. People who, when everything's hitting the fan, they dive into it. They don't run away from it. And so the men and women who overcome obstacles in their life, who go through tough things in their life, people who decide to step up and serve and say, it's going to be quiet, it's going to be peaceful, it's going to be boring, and then all of a sudden, in a fraction of a moment, somebody's life's on the line. Those people inspire me. And the people that are here that responded that day, not just a couple days ago, touched all of our hearts. And as a grateful Utahn, as a member of the United States Congress, from the very depth of my soul, I cannot thank you enough for the good work that you do and the strength that this community brings together. It's inspirational. It's the way it should be. And that's the way it is here in Spanish Fork. So we want to take a moment here and do the right thing and recognize those men and women who answered those calls. And I want to start by bringing up the chief. Where's Chief Adams? Oh, there he is. Come on up here, sir, and join me if you would.
Very grateful for the opportunity to speak today, and Congressman Chief has given us the opportunity to share with you some experiences that your Public Safety Department experienced this past week, and as was mentioned, but just a few days ago. And I've invited several individuals to come tonight. We've got individuals who are supporting others and some that were actually on scene and took action at this event that took place on Saturday. As you can see from just looking across the faces and the uniforms that are here, there's different uniforms that each of us wear. The Public Safety Department for Spanish Fork City includes three different divisions. We have a fire department that consists of volunteers that are highly trained individuals who respond 24/7 to events that take place here in Spanish Fork. There's approximately 30 of those, maybe a little bit more than that, of the volunteer firemen. We also have a part-time EMT crew or ambulance crew, emergency medical technicians that are certified, that serve the community. They're part-time, and they too perform their duties 24/7 for the city. They are well-trained individuals and respond just as if it were their own children or individual and family member that were in peril. And then lastly, you'll notice we have uniforms for our police officers. They're full-time. There's, again, approximately 30 of those individuals that serve the community here. This day, just a few days ago, these 40-some-odd individuals, although they're from different departments and they serve in the different capacities and are trained in different areas and have expertise in different areas, they acted as one in purpose and in cause. And they were able to take what a tragedy was of the loss of a mother, Jenny Grosbeck, to a miracle of saving a life of Lily, her daughter, her 18-month-old daughter. And I wanted just to go through those days' events that led up to these individuals showing what they have. And this is how we understand it today. So Jenny Grosbeck was in Salem visiting her father. She was there with her daughter, Lily, and they had finished visiting with their father at about 10 o'clock at night and decided to go home to their home in Springville. When she got in the car, she buckled Lily up in the back seat into her car seat, strapped her daughter in, and then came towards Spanish Fork, heading to Springville. At approximately 10:30 at night, and we truly don't know what caused her car to leave the roadway, but her car left the roadway at Arrowhead and Main Street, flying through the air and then landing in the water upside down. It wasn't until the next day at 12:25 that a fisherman, while fishing in Spanish Fork River, saw the wrecked car in the river. He was able to get close enough and look around enough that he was able to see that there was somebody still in that car. He called for emergency services, dialed 911, spoke with dispatch, and indicated what he had seen. He, with the help of dispatch, directed our officers and our firemen and our EMTs to that scene. Officers arrived with firemen shortly thereafter, and with the help of that fisherman, firemen and police officers were able to rotate that car off of its roof by sheer manpower onto its side. With the car on its side, officers were able to look inside of that vehicle and then see what they saw, what they exclaimed was a baby or a child in the car seat in the back of the car. Two of our firemen jumped up on the side of the car, reached down into the water, pulled Lily out, unbuckled her and pulled her out of that car seat. And then from there, she was passed to a fireman and then to a police officer, and the police officer ran up the embankment to the ambulance, where the ambulance was waiting and ready to take that child. The EMTs performed life-saving medical treatment to that child, not only while en route to the hospital in Payson, but while they were when the child first reached their arms. The child was then, Lily, she was then flown to Primary Children's Hospital, where there she received more treatment. And we're grateful to say today that that child who was critical and barely alive was served by firemen and police, especially our EMTs, personnel at Payson Hospital and personnel at Primary Children's Hospital, that today she is not in critical condition. She is singing with songs on on the cartoons. She's reading books or having books read to her by family, and she is truly a miracle that took place with her life. So as you can see with these individuals, although they might be separate and distinct and have different skills, they acted as one cohesive unit that turned a tragedy of a life being lost into a miracle of Lily's life being saved. You know, words can't express today enough how I feel about these individuals, and I'm sure how you feel about these individuals and what they have done. Nor can a hug or nor can a pat be enough for what they have done to save Lily's life and to serve us. And I might say that this doesn't go, this single event isn't the only event that they do. They do this 24/7 every day of the year. But it suffices to say today, the only thing that I can say today to them is the job well done. And without their service, a life would not have been saved. And I do truly appreciate everything that they've done for us.
Is it true that there was voices coming from the car?
There were officers on scene that are truly spiritual young men who have within them, I think, goodness. They indicate to us that they did, in fact, hear someone ask for help or asking somebody to help, whether it be someone on the bank that was afar off saying help her, or someone watching over a child saying help her or help me. I guess that really does not matter where it came from. The fact of the matter is that the voice was heard, and it helped those individuals lifting be stronger than they ever could be otherwise. And that's what's important. And truly, I am a believer. I believe in divine intervention. And whether that came from a living or a person beyond the veil, it matters not. The fact is that because that was said and it was heard, individuals were able to perform above and beyond what a normal person could do.
I have for each of you, although there are a few more of you than I thought before I got here, which is a good thing, but each of you are going to get this coin. It's called the challenge coin. It comes from it's a symbolic of the United States House of Representatives on it, and it goes back to World War I. These are called challenge coins. Back then, we didn't have emails, they didn't have text messaging, they didn't have the kind of communication. And as our forces were fighting around the globe, they didn't know who the good guys were and who the bad guys were. And so sometimes they would go and they'd meet somebody, and if they were friendly and helpful to the United States of America, they would give them a coin as a show of friendship and solidarity. And so as the next, whatever it might be, group of soldiers came along, they were trying to figure out, are they for pro-American, anti-American, how's this going to go? If that homeowner or that person pulled out this coin and showed it to them, they knew that they were friends. And then they knew that they had that relationship and that bond. And it's been a military tradition that's continued. And so in that spirit, I'd like to present, certainly to the chief, and then to each of you, a show of friendship from this challenge coin as my way of saying, on behalf of the United States Congress, the House of Representatives, God bless you and thank you.
Then I truly will treasure this. One of the things that I've done since I've been the chief, and each time a new council member comes in to be a councilman and serves the city, I give to them my own personal tie pin. And that tie pin has on it our badge, which indicates the time we were established and that we protect and we serve. And today I'd like to take my tie pin, and I don't see one on the congressman here, so I'd like to pin that onto him.
DP says to take between the third and second button.
There we go. Listen, thank you to all of the people, from the mayor and the city council to the primary children to the dispatchers who may not be here at this very moment. Please, on behalf of a grateful community and state, thank you. Thank you and God bless you. Appreciate it. Thank you.